Your lineups, and you could miss some and lose a game or two. But we're gonna have all kind of content with that. So going into our week 7 bets.
There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time.
Same old, same old. I will say I'm going to take half of a victory with my money line bet that I placed. I didn't have the courage to actually place it myself, and I did say pending Deshaun Watson's health. But I'm taking credit for putting it in the ether and making it known to other people that, hey, to the guy who's in freaking Nashville, Tennessee, who just happened to listen to the podcast and was like, he was on his last leg. He's like, screw it, I'll just try it. Browns money line. He became a very, very rich man. So shout out to the Browns, man. And I will say Mother Nature helped with the missed field goal, but they played their ass off, man. The Browns played like they knew everything that was going on with. And I think I saw a stat with Jim Schwartz where I think he's like 9-1 against Shanahan, which I saw that like
they worked together.
I think they worked I'm not together. Sure how true that is, but I saw that on. I don't know, some random is on Twitter, but but for P-Bush and Zoo, kind of tough weeks when it comes to
weeks,
the
man.
betting
Per
part.
usual. Yeah. I mean, I just can't catch a break on these, man. I hit on the Kyron Williams one. Boom, that was a lock. Justin Fields gets hurt. They don't throw to DJ Moore anymore. I mean, and the funny thing is, he had one target with Fields in the game. He gets taken out. I think he caught 4 more balls, but they just couldn't move the ball against the Vikings team that surprisingly, I think a lot of people thought that was going to be a high-scoring game. Obviously, Fields got hurt, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Bears defense actually forced some turnovers on Kirk Cousins, and the Vikings were just destroying. So it was just kind of a flipped game script. Unfortunate on that front. Hoping that week 7 brings me a little bit more money here, man. I'm going to try and keep this very safe. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker against the Cardinals. I think, once again, Cardinals game script could be in the Seahawks' favor, right?
Yep.
And then I'm looking at Stefon Diggs against the Patriots, man. He owns the Patriots I think he's played 6 games against the Patriots as a Buffalo Bill. He scored in 4 of them. Scored in both games last year against Belichick. We know Belichick loves to take away the big play from their best player, whether that be in the running game or the passing game. But Diggs is just Diggs, man. You can bet that he's still going to be getting the targets. Even though the game script could get out of hand, the Bills always love to jump out and throw the ball to kind of have a quick jump start to their offense. So I think it's going to be kind of similar game scripts for both of these guys. But I think Kenneth Walker, he's on a touchdown tear lately. They could not do anything against the Bengals. They couldn't do anything against the Bengals, but he still found a way to score a touchdown. So I think he's a pretty safe bet, and I just think Diggs' target share is just ridiculous, even though Gabe Davis has been having one hell of a year this year.
Oh, man, this game last night, man. Justin Herbert, man, that interception, pretty tough, man. Pretty tough.
Tough.
Yeah, because not gonna lie, like watching that game, I was like, Chargers look pretty good. Special teams era, like the Chargers. I don't regret that bet watching that game because that was a 50-50 game. Because I look back at the game, I felt like it was a 50-50 game. I was able to get. I picked plus money on the Chargers of getting it done, and I got to give it out to Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott exposed that secondary. CeeDee Lamb was absolutely cooking. Tony Pollard was able to make that ridiculous run, even though he got tackled. He did a little spin move, shoved him off, but then he couldn't seal the deal. He just had to be one more defender down the lane. Like, you had fantasy football people like, oh, nope.
Yeah, I know, right?
A little tease, man, a little tease. I was like, oh, Tony P. I thought he was in for a virtuoso to get that tutty, man. I needed 26 fantasy points from that dude. Didn't get it done for me. Didn't get it done for a perfect week, even though Tony P, man. And he had another end zone look. That Dak Prescott throw it out there to Tony P for a touchdown, just missed him on the throw.
I love the target share, but yeah, he's just not cashing in on red zone stuff at all. It's frustrating.
He's scored in like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Don't remind Actually, since week 1.
Don't remind me, man. Tony P has been a non-factor on my fantasy football team, man. Had an opportunity to trade him for Jamar Chase, who's been balling the hell out after having a rough 2-week start. So that was a buy low opportunity that I missed out on. Jamar Chase, wide receiver. Like, I look back at that, I'm like, damn, could have got Jamar Chase plus somebody for Tony P.
So you betting on Jamar Chase this week? No,
no, man. No. So Shout out to the Cowboys. That was a good win. I
Yeah.
respect them. It was not as bad. Like one of my worst picks ever was the Tennessee Titans pick. I still remember that was an absolute disaster. This one I'm not that mad about because it was in the balance in the fourth quarter. They were up. Dallas made a nice little comeback, had a field goal, had a touchdown. So I can't even hate on that. They won in the fourth quarter. So I'm 4-2 this 4-2 year to day right now. So I need another W, man. I need a W. But I'm looking at these spreads right now, man. Not gonna lie, it's kind of tough. If you look at last week, man, a lot of upsets. That was just like, obviously, Sean.
Panthers gave me a scare.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, not gonna lie. When they scored the first 2 touchdowns, I'm like, man, watch them blow this game, man.
Yeah.
And the craziest part is, Miami still covered the spread after being down 0-14. So that just shows how elite Miami is on offense. Like they were down 0-14. I remember watching the game. I'm like, I ain't even worried at all. Like, not even a little, because that Panthers team is an absolute joke. Shout outs to that draft pick, because it would probably be the first overall pick this year. So, what a massive mess by the Chicago Bears right now. But for me, man, I'm going with my boy Sam Howell, man. Sam Howell, Washington Commanders -2 at the New York Giants, man. New York Giants. Shout out to Sam Howell, because I started him in fantasy football in a league where I'm struggling at quarterback, and he showed out for 18 fantasy points. And in this week of fantasy football, that is elite fantasy quarterback point out.
That is true.
So New York Giants, not gonna lie, they did show me a little something last week. Almost upset the Buffalo Bills with Tyrod Taylor. Like, he kind of looked a little better than Danny Dimes. I don't know about you guys, but he kind of looked a little better throwing the deep ball passes. So even like the comeback, like Slayton could have caught that ball. Darren Waller could have caught that ball. So like they put up a hell of a match against the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what's up with the Buffalo Bills, because I thought that was going to be an absolute massacre. So the New York Giants, obviously, some execution mistakes, man. Brian Dable getting on his quarterback. So like, watch the Commanders. This team just beats bad football teams. That's all I gotta say. And the New York Giants, they are a bad football team. Their offense, though against they almost got it done, but they barely scored any points. Like, it was just their defense looked kind of good against Josh Allen, even though I feel like Josh Allen kind of low-key might have had a concussion. Like, I'm surprised.
He looked off.
Dude, he looked off, and obviously they only scored 14 points, so 2 tutties. Obviously, Stefon Diggs still had a great game. So they scored 14 points, man. Like it was a close game. If they scored on that touchdown the Waller, they would have got it done. But this is a team just struggles to score points, like 9 points. And this Commanders team, Atlanta Falcons, a team I love fading, man, 24 points, man. Like, this team just gets bucket. The only bad game they had this year was against the Buffalo Bills when he dropped 3 points. So this offense this year on the BNB, kind of good. It's kind of good, and I feel like the Giants, they're like the Giants offense. I feel like this Giants offense just can't keep up with anybody, even with Tyrod Taylor. And their offensive line is still bad, even though they had a better showing against the Buffalo Bills last week. But I feel like the offensive line is still a massive issue. And obviously Saquon Barkley came in and had a nice little runs, but he's still not 100% healthy. So he's not. You need 100% Saquon to be a decent offense. And right now, this offense just can't keep up with anybody right now. So I get points -2 for Commanders for beating them by a field goal. With the team, I expect a very low scoring game because it's the Giants. So I'll take the Commanders, man, covering the field goal against this team, man.
I like that.
Division game, yeah.
Yeah, big division
Team. They might know that.
It's like the offense a lot more.
Speaking of your Chargers, last night was a gotta have it kind of, because I felt like they kind of controlled the game a little bit, even though Dak didn't have the gaudy stats, but he had a lot of drop passes. And like I said the week before, I think Dak going against that secondary, which is still just so baffling considering the guys they got back there with the Chargers. Dak was able to do what he wanted to do all night in terms of getting to his spots, and CD was able to get
open every time.
Because he definitely CD is another guy who I'm trying to hopefully buy low on. I need him to have like a dud this week, but we'll see how that goes. But in terms of the money lines, like I say, I always try to get anything above like 150, 160. And like I said, speaking of these Chargers, man, they play the Chiefs this week. It's a gotta have it. They're 2-3 on the road. They need it. They gotta have it. They got to. If they don't get this, they need it. It trends towards Staley getting fired and a lot of changes happening outside of Justin Herbert. That's it. Like, there's going to be a lot of changes. He'll be the mainstay. So, Am I 100% confident in it? No. But I am thinking that Keenan Allen, who's, I wouldn't say quietly, but he's having a good year. Josh Palmer's a nice replacement for Mike Williams. He's not Mike Williams, but he's nice enough. I like their tight ends. They got 2 decent tight ends. Austin Eckler's back. Maybe they can control it with the run game. And at some point, the defense has to, with the guys they got on that side of the ball, you would think at some point they're
Their
going to
pass
step up.
rush is good. Their secondary is just the second worst in the league.
I just don't understand. And you got Derwin James, Asante Samuel. I don't know J.C. Jackson. Is J.C. Jackson even there anymore? He might have got traded.
Yeah,
Might have got traded.
I
think so, yeah. He got traded to the Patriots. But I don't know. They got guys back there, and it's just not clicking. So when it comes to desperation, they're going to be desperate. And I think they're going to fight a little bit harder than the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense is so good, and their defense is actually playing well this year. So this might be not a great pick, but I'm just going with the desperate team, man. Like I said, plus 190. You got Justin Herbert. Maybe he shows up because
he always plays well against the Chiefs. He always
does. I'm always ready for a Chiefs-Chargers matchup. He's dropping at least 25.
Mm-hmm. So,
but the only thing is, it is an Arrowhead.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why it's probably plus 190.
Yeah.
I think that's why it went up to that, and
it's good value.
Like spread is plus 5.5, so I don't know if I mess with that, but we'll see. Justin Herbert, I think his play has been a little mediocre, but I do think against the Chiefs, he's gonna, he's gonna have a good game. So we'll see, and maybe Patrick and Kelsey and a couple other guys that, they're not really as focused. They're just like guys, whatever. Because if you look at that division, I think they already look at Oakland and Denver as like 2 guarantees. So if they drop one to the Chargers, they're just like, who cares? Like whatever, we'll sweep up those guys and we'll fight them back in LA in better weather or whatever and win the game. So they might be in a non-focused state. So like I said, plus 190 with the Chargers. But that's it. This pod. Most of you guys and gals who are listening, this was a longer pod, but it's because the NBA is coming up next week. We will be mixing and matching just topics with the NBA and NFL. So make sure you guys are tuned in to bullheaded_pod on Instagram, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts is where you listen to our podcast. YouTube, Quattro knows where you can watch and listen. And for me, Zoo, and P. Bush, we are out.